What I'm trying to encourage you to do today is to take a step back from the circular firing squad and reflect upon what the hell has happened to our fantastic country. How have we ended up putting our future, our fate, and our international reputation in the hands of two superannuated schoolboys who now can't stop squabbling? He's a liar. No, you're a liar. You're a liar. My dad's bigger than your dad. This is the United Kingdom. This is Great Britain. This is England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. And through a combination of a ridiculous newspaper industry, the over-promotion of half-wits, a political underclass that have careered to the front benches of the Conservative Party, and the celebration of some of the stupidest people ever to draw breath in Parliament, we've ended up with these two men presiding over our nation until the point that one of them fell foul of the other one's current wife. This is beyond Albert Square, isn't it? The sheer petty, pathetic triviality of it. So what happened to the one that was in charge? He fell out with the other one's wife. Really? You mean like Phil and Grant, when one of them had the affair with Sharon? Well, they didn't actually have an affair, but they fell out. So Cummings was the master plan. Cummings was the genius. He came in with Johnson. Johnson was just the front man. Right? He was just the face of the operation. Cummings was the brains. Johnson was the face. Together they were going to rebuild Britain in their own magnificent Brexity image. But it all went wrong because the brains fell out with the face's wife. And you're still waving your little flags and claiming that you're patriotic for supporting these people. Unbelievable. Oh, let's play the national anthem and forget about the fact that they're bringing our country to its knees while arguing with each other about who's the biggest liar. I came on air this morning quite amused, quite diverted, quite entertained, with very little schadenfreude, because those of us who knew that this was going to happen derived no pleasure whatsoever from seeing it happen. But the more I think about it, the more I contemplate the carnage that's been wreaked upon our country and our political reputation, the angrier I get. Oh, I bet you're happy now. Dominic Cummings sticking the knife in body. Of course I'm not bloody happy. I live here. This is my country. This is where I'm going to raise my children. And you've done this. You've put these men in charge, these pathetic men who still can't stop squabbling with each other about who's got the biggest plan, who's got the best ideas, who's the biggest liar. Talk to me about patriotism, honestly. And Keir Starmer could pull his bloody socks up as well while we're at it, frankly. Why isn't he landing more punches on these people? It's pathetic. Look at the state of the country. We've got a massive cost of living crisis on the horizon. You've got a Secretary of State for Culture complaining about the BBC. Got an enormous energy price crisis right around the corner. And Priti Patel's talking about sending the Royal Navy into the Channel to turn away a few kids in boats. Unbelievable. Dominic Raab doing the rounds this morning. Dominic Raab. A man who would struggle to get a middle management position in an air conditioning suppliers. Nothing against air conditioning suppliers. You just don't need many in this weather. Dominic Raab, Deputy Prime Minister. Look at the state. There's a wonderful song. I love it, by an artist called Melanie. I don't know whether you're familiar with her, and I've got no idea what the song's really about. I just get transported whenever I listen to it. Look what they've done to my song, Ma. Well, look what they've done to my country. The Daily Mail today, 2 pages. The best-selling newspaper in the country, on Keir Starmer not breaking any rules when he had a beer in a constituency office in the northeast of England in 2021. A story that was reported in May of last year, but which they've been rendered so desperate by their hero's serial misbehaviour, they've had to pretend that it's suddenly relevant again. And claiming now campaigners weren't supposed to meet indoors. People swallow this stuff. This is fake news, Donald Trump style. Campaigners. Keir Starmer's not a campaigner in an election campaign. He's the leader of the Labour Party with a team of advisors. Campaigners, rules for campaigners were about the bloke from number 43 in a bobble hat who goes out handing leaflets in the shopping centre every Sunday. They're the ones that weren't allowed to meet indoors. It doesn't apply to the leader of the opposition in the run-up to an actual election. It's just nuts. I'll tell you what I really hate. I hate how much they hate you. I hate how much they hate you. I hate the idea of them sitting around an editorial table and think, will they swallow this one, boss? We're going to try and make it about Keir Starmer this week. There's a few tame broadcasters that will probably go along with it. There's a few backbenchers who are too stupid to tell you what day it is, who'll swallow whatever we feed them. We're going to try and make it about Keir Starmer this week, boss. And they sit there and they hate you so much. They look at each other and go, yeah, let's do it. We put Johnson in Downing Street. We fated Dominic Cummings as some sort of political genius. We looked the other way when he had to walk the plank after falling out with the Prime Minister's wife. We've inflicted Brexit upon this country. We've turned the people against judges. We've turned the people against MPs. We've set loose the dogs that have led to death threats and actual assassinations in this country. We've done all of that. So what are we going to do today? What are we going to do this week? We've got a Prime Minister riddled with scandal, with deceit, with dishonesty, riddled with it. And then you've got a leader of the opposition, imperfect, dull, but decent. Let's go after him. And let's take our rabid readers with us. That's what I hate. I hate how much they hate you. And Dominic Cummings isn't some sort of avenging angel here to clear out the Augean stables of Boris Johnson's premiership like a latter-day Hercules. He's just a, I nearly swore. He is just a scorned mistress. Another scorned mistress of Boris Johnson. Another pathetic, self-interested person who thought that they could somehow change him or get him to act according to what they wanted instead of doing what he has always done, what he does always do, and what he will always do, which is to act 100% entirely and forever in the interests of Boris Johnson. Cummings thought he was clever enough. Jennifer Arcuri thought she was cute enough. God knows what the rest of them thought they were. But nothing is big enough. Nothing is big enough to dwarf Boris Johnson's love of Boris Johnson. And that's why he's hiding. But that's what I really hate. I hate how much they hate you. Well, I've got no idea where that came from, but I feel a heck of a lot better now.